Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel named Inside Angle and this series named Going Beyond Marksheets. Today we have with us Siddhant Misra from Hyderabad, who secured an All India Rank 6 in CA Intermediate results May 2022. He also secured 339 marks in his CA Foundation exams July 21. First of all, heartiest congratulations Siddhant, and thanks a lot for taking out the time on the day of result itself.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Great. So first things first, Siddhant, today was the result day. So I think the memory of seeing the result is pretty fresh. So
Yeah.
how was the moment of result? यार इतना जल्दी वैसे आता तो नहीं है result, but I think काफी समय आ गया.
Correct.
And I can save you from the anxiety of results. But how was the result moment? How did were you when you saw it? What was the reaction? What was the reaction of the family, etc.?
So actually, it's going to be very unique, my result experience, because actually I was in my orientation course. And मेरा morning batch था, तो 7 AM to 1:30 PM मेरा orientation course चल रहा था. So since morning only, everybody was on their phones, कि अब result आएगा. And then finally, I just reload the page and you see that the results are out. I don't see where the lecturer is or where anybody is. I run out of the classroom. I go out and I take a very bold decision. I feel I check the merit list first and then I check my marks sheet. I see the merit list and I made a mistake here where I put my last roll number ka digit, I put galat. I put another roll number digit. So it came ki there's no rank. So I was shattered. I was like, let's just try again, let's see. So I put my roll number and then it comes. Now I see 6. The first number I see is 6. But I'm not sure if that's a roll number or that's a serial number because I was actually expecting 30s, 40s. I was looking, where is the 30, where is the 40? Then I'm like, I have 6, I felt for some serial number or something. Then I, zoom in and I see rank number 6. And I almost fall off the stairs where I'm standing and seeing my result, And that was an amazing experience. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
I think pretty great experience. By the way, coincidentally, I also secured an All India Rank 6 in my CA Intermediate. So probably I can relate a lot with you. I myself did not really expect a rank, but I really can relate to the result moment. But what I want to know from you is what is the reaction from all those who were there in your let's say batch, who's the batch, what did the faculty say? Did he tell you to stay outside the class for the remaining time?
Something similar to that actually happened. So as I was going down the steps, I look at my batchmate who was also in the same academy as me, so I knew her very well. So I look at her, she looks at me and I tell her AIR 6. She doesn't, for the first 2 seconds, she's angry because she's like, how could he get more than me? And then it's just pure joy. She's like, I'm so proud of you. And, then I go to my lecturer, then I tell her AIR 6. And he's like, you're not supposed to get so high in CA Inter. You're supposed to let others score marks. But I mean, it was just, I can't remember the exact moment because everything happened so quickly, everybody surrounding you and like, congratulations everywhere. So yeah, it was just, I just can't remember it.
Superb, yeah. I'm sure the result must have been, very overwhelming and really nice. Probably there to stay with you for your entire life. Yeah, great. Acha, tell me something. Did you have this expectation of a rank? Did you target a rank? If you did you actually expect a rank after your exams?
So basically, target a rank, yes, because somehow I feel now when you target something, you set an upper limit. So when people target to pass, right, they are basically setting an upper limit ki haan, mujhe pass se zyada, it's going to be very difficult for me to get. So I think everybody who's watching this video as well should be targeting a rank. When I say rank, I mean 600 at least, around 600. You should be targeting that marks because ek to aapka safety margin ho gaya. So then you really don't worry about pass. And then you're not setting a low upper limit. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you land on the stars. There's nothing wrong in aiming for a rank. So yes, I did target a rank. Not a single digit rank for sure, but top 50 mein aana was a dream. After the exams, to be honest, EIS-SM उतना अच्छा नहीं गया मेरा because I knew कि मैंने textbook answer नहीं लिखा EIS में, तो I knew lecturers का marking strict रहेगा तो ज़्यादा नहीं आ सकता है उसमें. So it was like हाँ इस subject में this was the only subject where I was like pass होना है, बाकी subject में I knew कि हाँ pass तो हो जाएंगे. So that's why I was very nervous for this subject and I was like rank तो मतलब result date तो everybody whether you are AIR 1 or AIR 50 or 400, you're obviously going to be that pass हो जाए बस है. So after the exam, yes, I felt कि हाँ, I have put myself in a good position to get a rank. And on the result, I was like, भगवान बस pass करा दो, rank का बाद में देख लेंगे. And thankfully, AIR 6 आ गया.
Yeah, very, very relatable and really happy that you ended up getting a rank. Much deserved, I would say.
Thank you.
So I'll put it this way, you targeted a rank and in your opinion, everyone should target a rank because anyways, it is a safety margin. If you don't get a rank, at least you'll pass for sure. And you're hoping for a rank, but result के दिन पे तो वो support जाता है, you are like pass 400 mark.
Correct.
So, by the way, for our audience, what is very good about Siddhant's results and years पहले there was this thing कि ICI की answer book में सिर्फ 2 ही डब्बे कि किसी को 100 नहीं आ सकता, 99 नहीं आ सकता है.
Correct. हाँ.
The fact is Siddhant has scored 100 on 100 marks in paper 3 cost and management accounting. So first of all, Siddhant, heartiest congratulations for that historic feat.
Thank you so much.
I know 100 marks have been achieved in past.
Yes. हाँ.
Hitting 100 is like being on top.
Correct.
It's a great feeling. So again, over here, I want to ask you the same question. Did you target 100? Did you expect 100 after getting after appearing in the exams?
So firstly, I'd like to thank Shubham Bhaiya because I remember he's gotten 100 in costing. So that really proved to me when I saw his interview कि हाँ, it is possible. It's not something that you cannot target. So yes, it was a goal कि हाँ, सारे answers correct हो जाएं. Costing, I did not really revise much theory. I was only aiming for the practical question.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, no, I was not expecting 100 in the exam because I knew practical. I understood the concept. I was able to write, even though it was a very tricky paper. I understood the concept कि हाँ, इसमें ये लगेगा. But there was one 5-mark theory question which I had also attempted. I think it was difference between job and batch costing. So I knew कि यहाँ पर तो पक्का काटेंगे, 5 on 5 तो देंगे ही नहीं. And I hadn't really revised it as well, so I wasn't that confident कि हाँ 95, 96 शायद आ जाए. But maybe my presentation, I presented that question at the end so that he sees that हाँ practical questions हमने पूरे सही कर दिए. Then hopefully he might give more in the theory. And then I see that actually, to be very honest, after I saw AIR 6, I didn't see my marks for the next half an hour. I didn't know I had gotten 100 in costing.
Yeah.
So then after 100, I see my mark sheet and then I see 100 in cost, and that was just, blew my mind. I told my lecturer was still on cloud 9, and amazing moment.
Superb. So, and by the way, for those who don't know, Shubham, whom Siddhant referred to, Shubham is actually an All India rank in November 18 CA exams, and he secured an All India rank 8 in December 21 final exams. He had also secured 100 marks in costing at that point of time in Inter, and I'm really happy that Siddhant was inspired. Friend of mine also, and his channel is also uploaded on this channel. His video is also uploaded on this channel side. Next question: what is it that you feel you did extra? मतलब ऐसा क्या कर लिया कि आप 100 आ गए? I never even thought of 100. CA में 90 कराना was a big dream for me. Big dream that I never thought of because I was like 90 नहीं आ सकते. So 100 was a pretty far-fetched thing for me. So which helped you get 100 marks?
So I think it's all about keeping it simple. What people misunderstand is that if you get a rank, you've done something extra over and above what is there in the study material. Whereas if you see this time's costing paper, जो newly added questions थे study material में, they've asked exactly word to word them. They've asked those questions. So and I noticed कि हाँ, जैसे मैंने coaching material लिया अपना ICI material लिया, and I saw कि थोड़े questions were not there in the coaching material because coaching material was relatively new क्योंकि costing हमारा first subject था.
Yeah.
So I saw the ICI material and I saw there were some new questions. तो मैंने क्या किया, coaching material में ही लिख दिया कि so and so question number on ICI book, I have to do this question again, and those were the tricky questions actually.
Yeah.
तो उसमें थोड़ा concept आपका लगता है, तो मैंने luckily उसको कर लिया था 1-2 बार. And so when the question came in the exam, it was not really new. And what many people try to do is they ignore the study material. They'll do बाकी के मतलब IPCC के शायद questions or practice manual के questions. And in the end, they do not, they can't solve the study material questions once, fully. So I think you'll put yourself in a very good position to score, high in costing if you're able to solve every single question in the study material once without looking at it. मतलब पूरा सही, no, you don't look at it even once. So if you're able to do that, I feel you put yourself in a very good position. And study material, I've seen many interviews. Everybody says study material is more than enough. And I understand when the audience might feel, I don't believe it. But trust me, study material for practical subjects is more than enough because ICI, it might beat around the bush, but it will not, go somewhere far away. आपके उसके base पे ही आपको आएगा. So, just focus on the study material. And, it might sound easy कि हाँ, एक बार solve करना all the questions correctly is easy, but it's not easy. You sometimes, you stop halfway through or, after 3/4 you look at the answer. You should regard that as कि हाँ, मैंने पूरा answer गलत किया है. ये नहीं कि मैंने 1/2 सही किया है, 1/2 गलत किया है. Solve that question again after 3-4 days. So unless you get it completely right, don't stop solving. And I think once you do that, then you put yourself in a really good position to score high in costing. And it's a scoring subject.
So, no, perfectly put, and I agree with each word that you said. But 2 takeaways from what you said. One is study material. In the pursuit of doing, let's say, classes ke sums, या let's say IPCC या PM ke sums, you should not ignore study material at all.
Correct.
And the second takeaway that I find from what you said is practice all questions very well to the extent that each and every question without seeing even once, without glancing even once, तुम सीधा answer check कर रहे हो.
Correct.
These are the big 2 takeaways that I feel, and which probably Siddhant get all India rank 6 and 100 marks in costing. So next question here is again, I think I've heard 100. or not? And the answer is no, you did not target 100. But I'm sure you targeted, let's say you wanted to get enough marks and practiced for it. What to ask you around your, let's say, your classes, how you went about the costing classes, how many number of revisions that you did, whether you did a lot of writing practice, something that I think you did mention, sare subject par dekh karo, etc. In this be something that our audience might have. So what are your answers to these questions?
So firstly, I'd like to start off with, what was my, whether I did too many writing practice for these subjects or not. So practical subjects, you cannot read the question. I mean, I didn't read the question until my last day. Exam ke pehle, that was the only time I might have just gone through the questions. Until then, I did not read the question. And one thing which, I have learned through my CNTer journey is that it's all about managing time. People lose out at the end because they're not able to manage time. So something what I did for practical subjects was I had my textbook, I had my notebook where I used to solve. And I kept another notebook जिसमें मैं लिखता था कि ये sum on this page number, I did this wrong.
Perfect.
So especially for subjects like advanced accounts, amalgamation, internal reconstruction, आप solve कर रहे हो, you get 1 or 2 points right or wrong. Then what happens is you can't solve the whole question again. And if you don't write it, you're not going to be able to remember. सबको लगता है कि हाँ बाद में याद आ जाएगा, but याद नहीं आएगा. किसी को याद नहीं आएगा because you have subjects like tax, which is waiting for you, at the end of group 1. So what I would suggest is maintain another book. In that book, list down all the question numbers which you solved. And beside each question number, if you solved it correctly, put a tick. If not, write this point, I was not able to solve this. So next time you solve only that point. So by that time, what happens is now on the day of you're making things easy on the day of your result. आपका पूरा preparation should be from that mindset कि हाँ, how should I prepare on the day of the result? क्योंकि सब एक दिन में करना है. So that way, what you've done is you've made it really concise, and you're not going to solve every question on the day of the result because you'll be like, ये भी करें, ये भी करें, ये भी करें. You'll be like, हाँ कि मैंने ये पूरा सही किया है एक बार, so you'll have that confidence. Solve those questions which you're not good at. That will really help you in your, practical subjects. And for theory subjects, I would, tax. I wouldn't say practical. I wouldn't say theory. I think it's a mixture of both. But for theory subjects like law, maybe EISSM audit, I think reading the material as many times as required is very important. Again, for this, I think it's very subjective. अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि मुझे 4 revision या 5 revision लगे, for you it might take more, and you should be willing to do more. है ना, ये नहीं कि मैं 5 बोल रहा हूँ, आपका 3 में हो रहा था, फिर भी 5 कर रहे हो. Don't waste your time if you're able to do in less. And if it takes more, be willing to do more because that's your goal. It's your dream which you want to achieve, right? So if I were to put a number on it, which is very difficult, I'm finding a hard time putting a number on it. But for subject like tax, if you're able to count the number of revisions you've done less, इतना आपको revise करना पड़ेगा कि आप count ही ना कर पाओ कि मैंने इतनी बार revise किया. Because tax is something like you're actually trying to remember limits and a lot of limits and ये section number में ये section number में वो. So that is for tax. And then for EISSM audit, try to remember the subheadings because I get this a lot. EISSM audit पढ़े कैसे? Because does the examiner expect us to write word to word, right? So what I would say is this is where classes come in. कि आप subheadings लिख लो. Subheadings मतलब revise कर लो. अंदर का content you will write based on your understanding of the subject, which you get in classes. So आप subheadings revise कर लो सारे and write the answers. And always, it's better to be safe than to be sorry. To assume that the examiner is going to be very strict. आप पहले से ही assumption लेके चलो ना, तब आपका preparation अच्छा होगा. Put that, at least I felt I performed well under that kind of pressure कि हाँ, I have to do this वरना examiner marks नहीं देगा. So that is something I did for EISSM audit. I think it probably took me around 5-6 revisions again because this was towards the end. So I didn't have to do it too many times because already end में था ये subject. Then for something like law, during the classes, I did revise it once. I won't say don't do it anything because you'll forget by then. You won't forget utna, right? It will take you a little bit more time, but you won't forget pura. So do law once during the lecture because आपको usually starting में हो जाता है. And then again later on you'll might take some time for the first revision and then you'll get into the group. So that is for law. And now coming to the next question as to probably how many hours something I put in. And actually watching your video only, I came across that people were saying that 10 hours, 11 hours. I was like, I feel that's a little less, for someone who's getting AIR1. So I tried, timing myself to effectively मैं कितना पढ़ रहा हूँ. बैठ तो मैं रहा हूँ 14 घंटे study table पे, but how many hours am I studying? So one day, I think you should also try it as audience, take a book, take a paper, उसमें लिखो कि मैंने ये टाइम से ये टाइम पढ़ाई की. अगर आप 1 मिनट का भी ब्रेक ले तो stop the time. You yawn, you stop the time. मतलब it should be that extreme. Then you realize कि आपका effectively आपका 1 घंटा निकल रहा है, 8 घंटा best case scenario. So I was like, let's try and time this instead of timing कि मैं 14 घंटे study table पे बैठ रहा हूँ, हाँ मेरी पढ़ाई हो रही है. पढ़ाई आपकी तब actually हो नहीं रही है. You're just sitting on the study table. So time it and you'll get to know the reality yourself. And then you start working hard again. So I think it's all about understanding yourself. आपकी weaknesses क्या है, आप कैसे हो, and then keep improving there. I don't remember the other questions. I spoke so much.
I think you've answered most of them. I think one question was around the classes. What is the approach to classes, etc.?
So classes, actually all 8 classes are taken from one place, Rahul C Academy in Hyderabad itself.
Okay.
So that way, luckily, everything was planned. कि हाँ मेरा preparation subjects will be done 2.5 months before. So I would, if somebody does want to join, I would definitely recommend it. Or मैंने, people think I might have taken offline, but I had done it 100% online, even though I had an option to go to offline. क्योंकि I know कि 2x पे study देख के video, I have more time for self studies. So yeah, online classes is not that if you do online classes you won't get a rank. It's all about your own discipline.
I totally echo your thoughts over here. Yeah, there's a big question that people ask me also, okay, whether virtual classes or offline classes. I'm like, यार virtual में कोई harm तो है नहीं यार. एक तो अपनी flexibility पे भी देख सकते हो, speed पे देख सकते हो. What's the harm in it? I myself took virtual classes for my CA final. Inter I had taken physical classes, but finally I felt not needed. यार, and हमारे time में तो code भी आ रखा था, so I had to settle in for virtual classes. But I think out of all that you said, I figured out two things. One is you're really practical. Very thoughtful and with that clarity of thought, which is very important. And I think this is one takeaway for the audience to, let's say, get a rank or to at least clear. It's very important to know yourself better. Like Siddhant said, it is important to know कि आपको 3 रिवीजन चाहिए या 5 रिवीजन चाहिए, आपको 8 घंटे चाहिए या 10 घंटे चाहिए पढ़ने के लिए. You need to know yourself better rather than going by Siddhant ने कितना पढ़ा, etc. And second is, I feel और सिद्धांत it was very planned approach in the sense that let's say जो sums है इतने सारे last day पे नहीं होंगे पता है, तो points लिख दिए, question numbers एक जगह पे लिख दिए. It is a very planned approach and very systematic approach, and I think this makes a difference between a ranker and a non-ranker in the sense that you do that smart study. किसी को smart study बोलते हैं यार, वो सब करा तब नहीं होगा क्योंकि पूछा तो शेड्यूल में से ही था. But सिद्धांत would have seen that twice or thrice, seen that adjustment जो उसका गलत हो रहा था वो 2 बार देख के गया होगा खास करके.
Also, I'd like to add one thing. आप जो tough questions जो mark करते हो ना beginning में, slowly you see towards the end, these are the questions which you become very good at.
Exactly.
So, if they ask these questions in the exam, you're actually very happy, which is why you might be finding कि हाँ दूसरों को difficult लग रहा है लेकिन मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है, easy लग रहा है. So that is something.
Very true. Totally aligned. So I think ये सारी बातें हैं which probably all of you should note from what Siddhant is saying. But really glad Siddhant you had that clarity of thought. And in fact, next question picking up from here would be, who or what inspired you to become a chartered accountant?
It's a very good question. Actually, see, my family में ना दूर दूर तक there's no CA. And I think that was actually an advantage for me because I had to explore myself. जैसे आपका inside angle video देख लिया या other YouTube channels. So I learned a lot by myself. So that was very helpful to me. So that's what I would like to tell the audience as well. If you have a CA in the family, well and good. You have the guidance with you. But if you don't, in a way, you should see it as an advantage. You get just independently you get to search for that knowledge yourself, and that in that way you learn much more. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what I would like to say. Yeah.
In my case, honestly, it's the same thing. मेरे family को दूर दूर तक CA नहीं था. I'm the first CA in my family. And which is in fact one of the reasons I, after clearing, I feel there's a dearth of information in general. Students need to know a lot of things, a lot of misconceptions around the CA course. It's probably more hyped than it should be.
So, that's very true.
In terms of a lot of things, कि भाई ये मान लो पढ़ना पड़ता है, etc. This is a very good example, and which is why I felt there was a need for an initiative which would actually clarify all these misconceptions. And I took this initiative inside Angle, and probably this initiative की बदौलत ही I came across Siddhant today, who messaged me on LinkedIn to actually inform me the good news of him actually getting All India Rank 6, which made me really happy. And I was sharing this with Siddhant as well. The fact that I'm so glad that this initiative is actually helping people, and ultimately they are probably clearing with flying colors and with All India ranks. So really happy about it. Last question, Siddhant, you've achieved a great feat. What next from your in terms of articleship, your future goals, etc.?
So articleship as of now, I'm inclined towards statutory audit, but I've not ruled out tax because yes, I do like tax as well. So hopefully I'll be trying to get into the big four. Abhi mere interviews are, they're going to begin very shortly. And yeah, after that, I'm looking at after CA final. I know that's a very long way to go and it might change, but yeah, I might just look at business consulting or maybe go in deep depth in statutory audit. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of as of now.
Super. Glad, yeah. That's really good to hear, and all the very best to you for that. But once again, Siddhant, thanks a lot for taking all the time for all our viewers for this channel, even on your result day. And I've said this before, but reiterating it, really, really happy for you. On behalf of all the viewers, also heartiest congratulations to you for clearing, for getting 100 on 100, and for getting an All India Rank 6. Very happy. Thanks a lot for taking all the time. For the viewers, thanks a lot for watching as well. Do like this video. Do thank Siddhant for his time in the comment box. Do mention your views. I think if you have any doubts, do feel free to ask in the comment box. I'm sure Siddhant will be more than happy to actually answer them. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Do share this video with all the others who aim to actually get an All India rank like Siddhant. Thanks a lot, Siddhant.
Thank you.